and welcome to Bethan's Kitchen and Garden. Today I am going to be planting out my winter brassicas. So I'll show you how they're growing and where they're going, and then we'll get on and plant them. My brassicas have been growing in this shelving unit just by my greenhouse for a while now. They didn't have the best start. They have been really slow going. They're not looking too bad now, but I planted these in mid-April and it's now you're coming towards the end of June, so this isn't great growth for that amount of time. But there's some sprouts here, some purple sprouting broccoli and some kale there, and then kale and some more sprouts there, and some pak choi there, and some Swedes there. Now these Swedes have, well, these are really not very good, but I'm going to give them a go anyway, because I've started them off and they do look a bit better now than they did. So let's go and have a look where I'm going to put them. My pak choi is going to go where my last Chinese cabbage has bolted, so it's going to go in this area here. Unfortunately that's bolted and I can still take the leaves, but nothing else is coming off there. And then my Swedes are going to go in this area here. These are all weeds here, so I need to weed this, harvest some of these radish that are here because they are ready, and there might be a couple of kohlrabi ready for harvesting too. And once I've got the nets off, I might as well go in and take off all the dead leaves from the broccoli. But we do have broccoli coming. It's beginning to hearten up, which is heartening, right? And then my kale and sprouts and purple sprouting broccoli is going to go here. So I'm going to get on with that job now, and I'll bring you back when it's done. It's a really hot day here, so I want to try and get it done as quickly as possible. So you will see instant transformation. Very small harvest today. Got the radish and my first kohlrabi. So I'm looking forward to having that at some point. Oh, and the eggs. We've got 5 eggs from our chickens today. And then I managed to get the netting up and assembled. So in here we have 11 very small kale plants, 6 sprout plants. Some of them you can't even see at the back there, so whether they'll pull through I don't know. And 2 purple sprouting broccoli at the front here. So I did manage to get that done. Got a little bit of extra space here that I didn't think I would have, so I'm not quite sure what I'm going to put in there. Maybe some beetroot. And then the Swedes, again, very small. They look more like weeds than Swedes, but hopefully the majority of them will survive, and we'll get something from them this year. I did a harvest of the radish that you just saw, and I took out my first kohlrabi from there, and I took out another kohlrabi, but that wasn't very good. That wasn't for eating. That was because it had split, which I'll show you now. So this was the kohlrabi I took out. You can see in the middle that I'm not really sure what you would call that, but it wouldn't give me much of a meal from that, and it wouldn't grow any better, so that came out anyway. And then I've got the weeds there, and I've got the cabbage offcasts there, and then in here I've planted the pak choi and 1 white kohlrabi down there. So these are looking fairly good in there. So it doesn't look like much for a day's work, does it? But it did take me a while to assemble the netting, which I knew it would because netting always takes a while. But I'm hoping I've got it now so those cabbage whites won't be able to get in and ruin the tiny plants that are in there. So let's go find something else to do now. The next job I got on with was harvesting all of my red currants. So that is all the red currants now for this year that I'm helpfully spilling on the floor. And I'll pick them up in a minute. And my next job is to harvest the shallots that are here. I'll put them to dry in my greenhouse. Then I need to move these slabs, take out the compost in this L-shaped bed, and then try and disassemble this bed to reassemble it into a rectangle shape to go in there. So this might take a while, so bear with me as I get going. And here it is, the bed back in place. Well, not back in place, but you know, rebuilt out of the wood from that L-shaped bed. I've refilled it with the compost that I took out of the trailer bed, and I will just put a top layer of fresh compost on top of here when I come to plant into it. But at the moment I haven't got anything to go in there just yet, so I'm thinking I might sow some more carrots in there, although my next job is to plant out my lettuce. So I'm going to put my lettuce all along here. I have to thoroughly give this bed a soak and take out this bolted spinach and chop it up like I do with all my my leaves. I chop them up finely and then put them into my compost. But if I have any left over, then maybe I'll put them into that bed instead. So I'll get on with doing those lettuces now, and I'll show you what it's looking like when I'm done. Haven't my lettuces grown really quickly now I've planted them? No, I'm only joking, they were there earlier. Here are the ones I planted. Some of them are smaller than others, but hopefully they'll get away now and start growing a lot better. There's a marvel of 4 seasons here. Then these are sort of like frizzy lettuces here, up to these ones here, and then those ones there are little gem. I've had to put loads and loads of water on here, and I shall continue putting about 2 cans a day on here until I feel deep down into the soil and it's all wet down there, because, well, you know, not wet, but damper than it is at the moment because it's all really dry underneath. So yeah, I'll have to do that every day for a bit. And I was left with four lettuces there, so I'll have to find somewhere for them to go. But those lettuces will be fine for a few days before I find a final place for them. I might put them into a tub somewhere. But that's it from me for today. I'm really glad to have got that bed done, moved that trailer. My next job will be to put the trailer in its new position and move my strawberries around and all that. So I suppose I better get started on that soon, and I shall think about what to put in my new bed. So that's it from me for today. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing and commenting if you have done so. I really do appreciate it. And all I can say about my work around the plot today is lovely job.